Hi guys, something a little bit different for you today. I am going to do an actual 12 by 12 scrapbook layout using my brand new Citrus Twist Kits Pocket Life kit for February. I have got this photo of myself and my brand new pink hair, and I'm starting the layout by picking a background paper. Now, my normal go-to would be white, but I am challenging myself this time to use something other than white. So tone on tone is what I'm going for. So I've picked out all the pink papers. I've narrowed it down to these two, and although this looks grey on camera, it is actually grey, but it has faded to this sort of really soft pink colour. Now, if you saw my unboxing video, you know I thought I was going to struggle with this peacock paper, so I have decided to challenge myself to use that first. That is the very first thing I'm going to use out of this kit. I am going to make myself use it. So in the end, I've gone with the soft pink / grey and this peacock paper here, so I am just going to trim off the branding strip. And then I can go ahead and stick that down on my page. So I'm just going to work out whereabouts I want it. And I think because I'm not cutting it apart, I'm going to just whack the whole thing on there, get it all over and done with in one go. So I'm adding it over on the left side of the page, and I'll balance that out with some other pieces on the right hand side later on. I am just gluing that down with a little bit of double-sided tape, which I really struggle with because I've just trimmed my nails right back, which makes it slightly difficult. And I think this is sort of where I'm going to put my photo, but it doesn't stand out very well against that paper. So I'm just going to mat it with one of the other papers from the kit. This is one of those darker florals. And I'm also going to add a little bit of hidden journaling, and there's just about always a tag shape of some description in that Pocket Life die cut pack, so this is the one I'm going to use. The actual pattern on the tag doesn't suit the page that I'm doing, so I'm just going to flip it over and use it white side up. So here's my really cheats way of creating a pocket for that tag. I just lay it onto the back of the photo and I put my tape around the tag. Now just be careful not to put it too close to the tag. You do want a little bit of wiggle room, but that way I'm not having to stitch anything or create any other sort of extra pocket. I'm just not going to tape where that tag needs to go. And once I stick that onto my background paper, you can see the tag just sits in there nicely and slides in and out no problem. I'm going to trim down the other piece of this mat just with my scissors because close enough. And so this is sort of the basics of it, but I felt like it wasn't standing out enough even for me still on this paper. So again, something a little bit different for me. I'm going to use a little bit of mixed media. So I just grabbed some white acrylic paint and an old credit card, and I'm just going to scrape that paint down. Well, it serves two purposes. It's going to help my photo stand out a little bit more, and it also hides a little bit of that peacock pattern. So there we go. Don't like a paper? Cover it up a little. So I think that's going to work nicely, but I'm just going to be totally impatient and pull out my heat gun and dry that off instead of waiting patiently. Now, I mean, if I'm going to go mixed media, I might as well, you know, go the whole hog. So I'm going to pull out some mists as well. I've got this really pretty like peacock blue one. There's not any reason for this except that, you know, that like pink and teal is like my favorite color combination ever, so that's why I've got this one. And I'm so bad at using mists. I'm totally out of practice, so it all goes a little bit sort of haywire, but I'm attempting to go on a sort of diagonal up the page until I get these really huge splats of gold, and so I add a little more huge splats of gold, and that one I really did need to let it dry, so I have come back a little bit later on. Everything's dry now. The few bits that weren't dry, I tried to dry with a little paper towel, so you can see it's quite smudged up in the top right hand corner there. I'll cover that up later. So now I can go ahead and stick my photo down. And you'll see that white paint, it just helps it stand out so much more against that really busy background. So now I'm going to grab a few other bits and pieces from the kit And I'm starting with these puffy stickers because I saw there was one on here that in perfect colours, the pink and the blue, and it says, oh no you didn't. So I'm adding that first. And then I really liked these little puffy hearts, and I thought this would be perfect for covering up some of the unfortunate splatters. And there are a few pink and teal ones, so I'm just adding all of those in and using that same diagonal from the bottom to the top corner, just sort of, I mean, sprinkling, is that the right word when you're placing stickers? But that's what I'm doing. I'm just keeping that diagonal theme going. Now to use these stunning, really dark teal alphas to create my title, and I'm just placing that on the bottom corner here. I quite like it. It's helping me balance out the heaviness of that paper on the left hand side, but also because that's where my direction, where my eyes are looking in the photo, it sort of looks like I'm looking at the title. So hence my title, Pink Hair Don't Care. And there wasn't actually an apostrophe on the alpha set, so I just used one of the little insides of the A, and I think it worked out quite nicely. So I can add a few little notes onto my tag here. It's not really especially, you know, a huge topic that needs a lot of journaling, so just a few little lines is fine. But before I stick that back into its spot, I'm just going to add a little bit of twine from my stash just to give me something to pull that out with. And that hidden journaling sits in there really nicely. Now I had to use these beautiful tiny word stickers in that bright pink. Again, it goes with my colour theme for the page, but also there's some really fun sentiments in there that sort of add to my Pink Hair Don't Care sentiment for the page. So I'm adding 3 of those. I've got well, it's not really a cluster, but I'm gonna, like, there's a focal point around the title, so I'm adding a sticker there. There's a focal point at the top left where the other puffy sticker was, and just to balance those two out, I'm adding the 3rd focal point on the left hand side where I added one of those stickers before. Now to help all of those 3 spots become a little bit more visual, I'm going to do some stamping. So I grabbed my teal ombre ink pad and a couple of stamps from the set, and I'm just going to do a few stamps using some sort of ghost stamping as well, just to help identify those focal points. So I did like 3 stamps on each area, but then the one on the left here just needs a little bit more to help it be visually balanced with the rest of them. So here's my challenge to you: create a layout, use the tone on tone technique, add some hidden journaling, and don't be afraid to try a little bit of mixed media. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to keep watching, I'm going to put a couple more videos up on screen. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!